Dr. Sleep first reactions say the Stephen King movie is the best adaptation since Shawshank. That is the headline on today's MBE Movie News.
Yes, John, first reactions are coming in, not just for, obviously, the film, but for writer-director Mike Flanagan. And we have been through quite a few of them.
We have, yes.
They are very positive indeed. What's your thoughts on this, John? Because I'll give you my thoughts in a moment. Initially, when this film was announced, my own feelings. But are you surprised by this in any way? Is this what you were expecting from what we've seen from the trailers, the reaction from the trailers as well over the last few months?
Well, Stephen, from the trailers, I have been impressed by the movie on a visual level and just in terms of what they've been doing. You can see that Flanagan, also Mike Flanagan, the director, is passionate about this movie. He's passionate about the setting. He did say he was a big fan of The Shining growing up. It was one of the first experiences he had as a young child watching and living through a horror movie. So I can't even imagine that being your first experience of a horror movie. But it's obviously shaped the guy going forward in his life. Now he's finally had the chance to tackle the next story, or the sequel to that great Shining story. And he's took it, and it's almost like what we've been speaking about in previous weeks with Jason Reitman and the Ghostbusters franchise, getting a chance to take that on. It's a dream come true for him, and he's been really delicate in the way he's handled it, Stephen, going between the different estates, obviously Kubrick and Stephen King. There was bad blood there. Stephen King famously didn't like The Shining, the adaptation. There was a number of alterations from that original story. And so he's tried to appease the two sides and get something that marries and marinades beautifully. And I'm glad to see that it's looking like it's overwhelmingly positive, the reviews, the first reactions to the movie. Because for the array of reasons I just mentioned, it's a passion project for this guy. He really loves the original movie. He loves Stephen King's work. So it's good for him. It's also good for Ewan McGregor, because he's a guy I've been a big fan of, going all the way back to the Trainspotting days. He's just a wonderful actor. Good guy as well in the main. Apart from when he left his wife for a younger model. I've not got any issues with that. Says it before. No. I'm not a McGregor. No. He can do what he wants. Yeah. Doesn't affect my perceptions of his acting ability. No. And he's obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I'm with him no matter what. Glad for him as well. Glad for Rebecca Ferguson as well, another really good actress. Playing the antagonist. And I'm just glad, period, Stephen, because much like Mike Flanagan, I am a massive fan of The Shining. One of my favourite, if not the favourite, of my Kubrick movies. Don't know why I'm saying my Kubrick movies, but of the Kubrick movies, that's my favourite probably. So I've been really excited for this. We've been speaking about this for months upon months.
Well, John, I think we've actually been talking about it a lot longer than that. We're talking about it probably the tail end of 2018, I think, when we were doing our audio shows. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised with obviously what we're reading here. You know, obviously the critics are coming out and they're praising Flanagan and the film itself, and him being able to sort of bridge that gap between obviously the state of Kubrick and Stephen King as well. That was my concern from the very beginning when we first started talking about this film, because it never seems to work when you take a classic film that's been in society for the best part of 40 years now, or near enough 40 years, and considering doing a sequel to that, I'm right in saying that the Stephen King Dr. Sleep novel's not that old, isn't it, not, John?
No, 2013.
So you're only talking 6 years old. Yeah. So that was my concerns, because it never seems to work, it never seems to click into place, and it doesn't ever feel like it's a direct sequel to the original classic. In this case, it seems that he's done what we didn't think he could do, certainly from the early reactions anyway. So I'm very excited about going to see this film. We were talking about maybe about a week ago, John, that there's going to be a special screening of The Shining at our Cineworld. I think it's a 4K restoration job, which is going to be absolutely amazing to look at, especially the snow scenes. I think
it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I think it's a good way of setting it up. I mean, I've got it in Blu-ray anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'll be watching it one way or another. But I didn't get to see the original film in the theatre, back in 1980. I was only 4 years old. It would have been very concerning if I did. Certainly, it would have been concerning for my parents. I think
was it much older, Stephen, when I first seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
Exactly.
That was my first foray into the horror genre.
But again, John, it's one of these films that's so unique, and sort of the visuals as well. The visuals are one of the things that always stand out with Kubrick films. Certainly, you get that sort of scene. The camera's behind Danny when he's on his trike. That corridor and its decor sticks in your head. The twins, their attire sticks in your head. The blood gushing
out the elevators,
everything, just everything sticks in your head, and that's what he was a master at. And obviously Flanagan, he's inspired by Kubrick's work, but at the same time, he knows he has to obviously work with Stephen King to make sure that he's staying true to his novel as well, as best as he can. Obviously, there's a few things we were talking about, John. You picked up on one of them. One of the characters from The Shining, the novel, was obviously killed off.
Dick Halloran, the cook, the cook was also killed, Stephen. In the actual novel, he survived. He actually saved Wendy and Danny from the, obviously, murderous hands of their father and husband, Jack Torrance. Jack Torrance. And also, that created issues going into this movie, Dr. Sleep, because obviously continuity issues. Would he follow the Kubrick version where the cook isn't alive, or would he follow the obviously Stephen King version where he is very much still alive? At the end, he's managed to work a nice little twist into it where it's a spectral form of Dick Halloran who is going to help obviously Danny Torrance and this young girl on their journey back to the Overlook Hotel, and perhaps to evade the clutches of this sort of a strange, I think it's a gang of people who can sense the shining power. And they try to use it for nefarious reasons or whatnot. So he's getting back to the Overlook, he's been drawn back, obviously to deal with his past, come to terms with it. It's almost, I don't know, it's almost looking into yourself. There was a movie we were speaking about, I can't recall which one it was, where it says you have to go back, it was El Camino, where you have to go back and deal with your past and what's been going on before you can really be a wholesome person again and then go forward in your life and move on. And that's what they're doing here. He's getting back to the Overlook, and at the same time he's bringing this young girl and he's trying to save her by having the warring spirits, if you like. So he had this cook appear as a spectral form, and that just perfectly perhaps personifies what he's doing here in this movie. He's taking elements of both and he's able to make each camp happy, and that's really perfectly summed up when you actually go and see what Stephen King has been saying. I've not got the bloody quote in front of me right now, but he has spoke out about it. He says, "The first reactions to Dr. Sleep were nothing short of ecstatic. Delighted for Mike Flanagan and company." So again, when you're appeasing the novel or the
writer,
the novelist or whatever, the writer of these great stories, then that's a great stepping stone to having a really good movie on your hands. And by all accounts, I think the Kubrick estate have seen it and they're over the moon as well. So it's very promising. All the right cast members are in there. He seems to have married it beautifully. I was reading an article as well, Stephen, where he says that he obviously tried to balance with perhaps taking elements of the original movie, the visuals and whatnot. He was tempted. The studio were often telling him, "Would you like to bring back the original actors and we will de-age them and whatnot?" And he says, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want too many similarities between this movie and obviously Kubrick's The Shining," because he never wanted it to feel like a cheap, tacky add-on. But it's piggybacking off the success of that movie. He wanted it to be almost like a younger brother, I think he says, paraphrasing heavily here, which had similarities to the original, but it's doing its own separate thing. So that's perfect, and what he's been managing to accomplish here with these two camps, been very happy, and I cannot wait to see it without giving away.
John, the other thing I picked up in the article was obviously part of the headline was it's best adaptation since the Shawshank Redemption. What's your feelings on that? Because
didn't you speak about that?
That is a massive call, isn't it? I think it was one of the ones that are actually within the the embedment of the tweets there, John, in that article.
Yes, I'd actually have to look at the films he's had since that have been adapted since the Shawshank Redemption. Off the top of my head, there's been a bit of a renaissance. So I think we've had The Dark Tower with McConaughey, which was shit. We've had Pet Sematary, which is getting mixed responses. Some people say it's not as good as the original. I've never seen the original. I've seen this one from this year, I think it was anyway.
Gerard's Game as well.
Gerard's Game as well. I think actually there was someone involved in Gerard's. It may actually have been Mike Flanagan who directed it, who's now directing this. He's been involved in a couple of Stephen King properties. So it's difficult to compare, Stephen, but it's bold. It's a bold statement to make, to say that it's the best since also Shawshank. Which still blows my mind that it was Stephen King who was involved in Shawshank. I would never have obviously associated that with him. This is a guy that's firmly rooted in horror most of the time. It's incredible how... I
think you'd be surprised, John.
It's incredible how balanced the writing is.
He went under some, disguises in other films, John, as the writer. The Running Man being one of them. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
He obviously had the short story. I can't remember what it's called, but it's just... it's a film, since we started talking about this at the tail end of 2018, my initial thoughts on it was I was concerned just how well it would be put together and how it would be able to, please fans of the novel, please fans of the original movie as well, and how it was going to tie in the tone and stuff like that. Once that first trailer came out, all those sort of concerns for me were put to bed. The feeling that in the soundtrack as well, John, I don't think we should be able to, we can't forget that, because that just adds another eerie tone and its own sort of character in the film as well. So I'm hoping that's still in there. Obviously, we've not seen the film yet. It's not out here yet, John. I don't think it's out till...
it comes out in about... It's not far away.
It's about 2-3 weeks away, isn't it?
I don't even think it's that fast, even. I think it's very, very soon it's coming out.
I'm forgetting we're getting into November, actually, John. We're at the tail end of
October. It's not far away at all. I'll quickly try and find it.
So it's one of those things, I just, I think once I saw it...
21st of October.
It's out already?
Yeah. No.
Are you sure about that? Because...
31st.
All right. All right. October, I thought you said the 21st.
Oh, 31st October. No,
that's already been. So it's going to be this week. So I didn't think it was as close as that, because I can't believe we're already coming into November next week. So I think as well, John, that after seeing that first trailer, as I said, it was all put to bed. I loved that trailer. We did a trailer reaction. I think it was 2 we did.
Yeah.
And
the second one was when it had all the hands.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced the old woman who also confronts Jack Torrance in The Shining, that zombified old woman, I think she's one of those hands.
Yeah, and Ewan McGregor as well. Ewan McGregor looks really good in this.
His accent looks good as well, Stephen. I poked fun at it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
It does sound good. Yeah, it sounds good. It doesn't look good. Yeah, I suppose he looks good while he's doing it, to be fair. He's got a magnificent head of hair. I'll not do him down. But yeah, I poked fun at his accent, but it actually sounds okay. Most people seem to think it's a authentic American accent. In terms of what you said briefly, Steve, before we move on, I'm gibbering away nonsensically. Far too long on this one topic. But you're absolutely right. It's almost like the story in a microcosm in the trailer, which is a stupid statement to make, because that's what a trailer should be. It should be telling you the story, what's going on in a microcosm, but great little Easter eggs. Little references.
Skywalker didn't do that.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But it's great little references to The Shining.
Yeah.
Visual references like the Red Rum Murder back to front, obviously the Overlook Hotel, the theme. But then you can also see the standalone separate story with obviously Danny Torrance and this young girl and this marauding group of antagonists going after them, try to utilise his shining power. It's doing its own thing, but it's taking lots of inspiration from what came before. So cannot wait to see it, man.
I can't wait either, John. I don't know if you cannot wait to see this, if it ever finally comes out, but this is our next article. It's Does It Matter If Sony's Masters of the Universe Isn't Theatrical? Now, this has been something that's been in the pipeline for the past decade now. It looks like the route that the studio are going to be down is, of course, the streaming sort of route, and that would be with Netflix.
Yes.
The 1987 film, I remember it fondly because it was a time when a lot of these type of cheesy action films were coming out. It's easy to look back now and, you can slate it and see, for bad, quality and stuff like that. But at the time, it was not too bad. It wasn't, for a young kid, it's quite an exciting film. You've got Dolph Lundgren in there playing, obviously, He-Man. And you've got all these array of characters that you were familiar with, obviously, with the animated series. But I know that you haven't seen the 1987 version, John, and I'm not too sure how familiar you are with the animated series, but it was something that was pretty big in the sort of early 1980s. But you weren't born, to be fair. Getting right into sort of
that's no excuse.
The mid to late 80s. So my personal feeling is, and I said this to you as well, is I think the time is gone for this franchise. I think if they were going to go down the road or maybe doing a Hollywood blockbuster version of this, perhaps they should have done an animated, a sort of up-to-date version of the animated cartoon before they went down that road, because the generation now are not really going to be familiar with that. There's some references you hear, in Society, Castle Grayskull, etc. Certainly in Glasgow you hear that quite a bit. And Skeletor, who I think is maybe appearing in Go Compare adverts at the moment.
Money Supermarket.
Money Supermarket.
The only reason I know that is because He-Man says to him, "You're so Money Supermarket."
Yeah, so what's your feelings on this, John? And more the question is more aimed at the sort of Netflix picking this up rather than something obviously you've not seen. So.
Well, Steve, it doesn't surprise me that the rumours are that Netflix is perhaps looking to step in and acquire this. Is it from Sony?
Yes.
I'm right in saying that?
Yes.
Because this is something they've done time and again. This is really their reason d'etre, if you like. I was about to put my foot in it there. Wasn't sure if that was correct, but it is. Where they go and perhaps try and pick up movies that are not getting distribution or perhaps the concept is maybe too out there and traditional studios won't lay out the money because they're fearful that it won't be a box office success, perhaps for the reasons you mentioned with He-Man in this case. The fact that it is this Asian franchise that's been in the doldrums for a long time, perhaps connects more with the 1980s and 70s or whatnot.
Yeah.
And those people are already in their 40s and 50s now. Are they willing to go out and watch a movie about this? Is it gone? Well, this is probably what the studios are pondering. Yeah. Is there any point in giving this? I mean, we were both speaking about it, Stephen. You've obviously seen it more than I have. And you firmly believe that in order for this movie to ever be a success, it has to be a big production. It has to have a sizable budget to make it work. Because I think you says the original one, they firmly were stuck on Earth. Or they choose to go to Earth.
It was a good way of saving money.
Saving money.
Let's just film in the streets.
And I presume the cartoon went to different locations. It went to more cosmic locations.
It was more of, I think the place was called Eternia. I think that was sort of their, location they were based in, and it was obviously cosmic, etc. So,
it's all very Avengers 78.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but look, Stephen, I'm not surprised that Netflix are looking to take it on, as I did say, because this is what they do. We've seen it most recently. I think it was Columbia gave up. The Irishman refused, I think it was Columbia, but they refused to pay what was required to make this movie happen. It'd been on for about 10 years. Scorsese wanted to make it. Netflix picked it up, gave them the budget, and now it's coming to us in a matter of weeks. And everyone's so excited for it. It looks as though it's getting right good buzz.
Yeah.
Talk of it being nominated for Best Picture. Whether it wins or not is another thing. A lot of people are watching Parasite at the moment. We have to wait next year and saying that is the best movie of the year. It's much better than The Irishman. I don't know how they know that because it's not out yet. And they're saying it's better than Joker. I will find out in January if that's true or not. But look, that's what they do, Stephen. Without giving on and repeat myself eternally, they pick up things that other studios will not get the balls to go for now. It's dying, really, Stephen. The traditional studios are too scared to make the plunge and do something different out there. They just want to keep rehashing the same thing that gains money and it's a success with fans. And so, dying franchises like this will not get a chance. So now Netflix will step in. And as we've said time and again, well, presumably they'll step in. It's still speculative just now. But this gives it a chance. It makes it perhaps be made. It allows it to be made and it'll give perhaps a new generation of fans a chance to get in and watch it. And if it's a success, then we may see it explode into maybe further movies. I think it's good news. Without having ever seen the original movie, I did watch the trailer. Looked okay. Looked like every other 1980s movie. Effects are quite primitive, but they usually make up for it with unique storytelling.
Like most films in 1987, John, the effects were primitive, so I wouldn't hold that against it. But I think we should move on anyway to our next segment of the show, the final segment of the show that is, our traditional box office UK chat here. We're going to break down the top 10 grossing films of the UK here, and this is for weekend of October 18th to 20th. John, coming in at number 1 is Joker in its third week. It's grossed £7.1 million over the weekend, £52.3 million overall. I
hope that is pounds, Stephen, and it's not dollars, because
it says dollars, but it's not, it's pounds.
IMDb have made a complete arse of it, Stephen, to be frank. And we're getting into Box Office Mojo, incidentally, which has a new layout, so if this is a car crash, I do apologise well in advance. But yes, Stephen, £52 million is remarkable. 3 weeks in for this much derided movie that the critics were utterly eviscerating, saying it would go out and cause a spate of copycat killings. Well, it hasn't.
No.
People are going to the stairs where Joaquin Phoenix stands down and they're getting photos taken and they're jovial and it's all light-hearted. People have connected with this movie, Stephen, and that's why it's now sitting at $849 million worldwide. It is not far off $1 billion. What a success, so much so that Warner Brothers now are apparently looking at greenlighting a potential sequel and continuing it on, and I hope we do. I hope this character comes back, maybe older, more grislier, been through some shit, and joins up with Robert Pattinson's Batman movie.
Wow.
Or the Batman in subsequent movies, because he'll not be in the first Batman movie. But if they do decide to greenlight it, then hopefully it does, because I loved it.
It's a success. John, Yes. Coming in at number 2.
Yes, it's Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil.
I'll help you out there, because I cannot pronounce this film at all. That's why I'm not taking my daughter to see it. It's in its first week, John, and it's grossed £4.2 million overall. That's
not too bad, Stephen, for, I believe, the third. Is it the third Maleficent movie, or is it the second?
I think it's the second.
The second. Yeah. I've never seen the original. I says when we reacted to the trailer, I would probably give it a bash. Well, I didn't. But look, $95 million worldwide. I can't even get the budget information. They've not got it in this new setup. You're killing me here, Box Office Mojo. But I'd presume that's a decent start. First week, it's nearly hit $100 million. For a sequel, obviously Angelina Jolie has some box office pulling power. So
I think as well, John. We actually saw the trailer for this when we went to see Joker the other week, and it did look quite good on the big screen, John. We went to one of the super screens at Cineworld, and this film stood out amongst all the trailers. This was probably the standout one. Angelina Jolie, as you said, looks terrific in this. Michelle Pfeiffer's in it as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's playing the goody two shoes.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we picked up from the actual trailer, was what a cast. But I might go and see it, I don't know. Yeah. But we'll move on, if I can pronounce it, that is one day. We'll move on to number 3 this week, John. A film I can pronounce. It's a Shaun the Sheep movie, FarmageddoN, and its first week it's grossed £1.7 million overall.
Yes, Stephen, this is obviously a spin-off of the great Wallace and Gromit series. I mind reacting to this, I'm pretty sure we did, but I don't think we ever put it out.
No, I don't think it did, no.
Yeah, it was a disaster, I think, the reaction. And I think we tested the waters and seen it wasn't going to take off, so didn't bother. But look, £11.2 million, or $11.2 million worldwide, I should say. Not too bad. It's I love Wallace and Gromit. I love these stop motion art, and this is what this firmly is. So if I've got a chance to go and watch it, I'll probably go and see it. I recall having a Shaun the Sheep little toy thing when I was a wee guy.
Yeah, it's been around for a while, John.
Yes, but look,
we'll move on anyway.
I keep saying it.
Number 4 this week is Zombieland Double Tap, and its first week grossing £1.6 million overall.
Stephen, this is going to sound absolutely shocking, but I wasn't aware this movie was out yet. It's blown my mind. Yeah. And in fact, I'm talking crap. Well, I knew it was out in the States, but they were saying that over there as well. It seems to have slipped under the radar. There's not much attention being paid to it, but $63.6 million worldwide. Again, I don't have budget information. I can't really tell you whether that's good, crap or indifferent in terms of performance, but I'm going to assume it's pretty decent. For a sequel, I liked the trailers. I thought it looked very funny. They had this alternate version of falsely Woody Harrelson. Yeah. And the other guy whose name I always
Luke Wilson,
no, the other one, the curly haired guy, his sidekick. But it doesn't matter. It had a cool story elements going on. It had much of the same humour. We spoke about it. It had a familiarity with the original. So hopefully it's a success. I will go and watch it because I love the original one.
Yeah, can't wait to see that curly haired guy again.
Who the hell is that guy?
Number 5, John. It's Abominable in its second week now. It's grossed £1.3 million over the weekend. 4.9 million overall. Listen, we have mental blocks at times, so don't beat yourself up about it. But Abominable, John, in its second week. What's your take on this?
It's the third Yeti movie, and I think last year, Stephen, we had Smallfoot, we had Missing Link, and now we have Abominable. So yes, it's about 3 teenagers helping a Yeti return to his family. Yeah, I've not seen it. I didn't know anything about it. It's a Universal movie. I think I says they have quite a renowned history for making animated movies. I had no basis on which to say that. But look, it's got familiar visuals and it reminds me of something I've obviously enjoyed previously. And it's doing well, $144.6 million worldwide. Couldn't have had a huge budget. I didn't even know the movie existed until a couple of weeks back. So it's surely a success. Surely.
We did know about, John. We've probably, I don't think I'll be going to see this. It's Gemini Man at number 6. In its second week, it's grossed £900,000 over the weekend, £4.2 million overall. Yeah,
£4.2 million isn't good for a Will Smith-led movie, Stephen. I think Paramount would have been hoping...
Even 2 Will Smiths.
Yeah, 2 Will Smiths. Paramount, a younger version as well, which would have thrown out that nostalgic vibe. But Paramount would have been hoping for better with a guy of that calibre leading your movie. Doesn't seem to have happened. £4.2 million isn't great. It's dropped 57.5% already in its second weekend I should say, and that's usually a pretty bad sign when it drops that quickly. But look, maybe I'm talking crap, they usually drop and then they tail off slowly, but look, it's not doing well. $148.2 million worldwide. With that de-aging technology as widespread as it is now, it can't be cheap. That must have hit into the budget. I think this is probably scraping a profit, maybe breaking even. and it's not doing that great. So, but it's a shame. It looked okay. I seen the trailer when I went to see, I think, Ad Astra. Didn't really see it again in subsequent trips to the theatre, so perhaps they bombed it as well. But it looked okay on the big screen, so shame. Yeah, horses for courses.
Yeah. Coming in at number 7 this week, John, it's Official Secrets in its first week. This is a Keira Knightley film, sure.
Oh, yeah,
this is Matt Smith. £700,000 over the weekend, and obviously £700,000 overall. Yeah,
it's about it's a secretive spy operation surrounding, I think, Iraq or something, the UN Security Council. Yeah, the invasion of Iraq. It looked very interesting. I do recall watching a trailer for it, and it's got a very good cast.
It's getting good ratings, John.
Yeah, good ratings. Doesn't surprise me with that cast in there. I think Gary Oldman. No, I'm talking crap. It's not Gary Oldman. It's someone else that looks like him. But look, $3.2 million worldwide is not too bad at all. And look, $700,000 for a more drama-driven movie, which I presume a lot of people have heard of. That ain't too bad either. That's not to be sneered at by any means. But
we'll move on to number 8 this week. It's Judy in its third week. It's grossed another £700,000 over the weekend, 8.1 million overall.
Yes, 8.1 million. That blows my mind that a Judy Garland biopic movie has grossed £8.1 million. Utterly incredible. Hats off to Renée Zellweger. She did look as though she had done a good job. She captured all those little mannerisms. The period did look authentic. I've seen some people speak about it and say it's a very good movie. Perhaps I have to go and give it a bash, Stephen, before it drops out, because I do like my period pieces. I've said that time and again. And $29.5 million worldwide. Couldn't have had a big budget. Box Office Mojo continue to eviscerate me here with not giving me budget information. But it must have, I think I've spoken about it before, it was a low budget affair. And it's a success, so hats off to Judy.
Number 9 this week,
John.
Because
I keep saying it.
It's Downton Abbey, and it's 6 weeks now. It's grossed another £500,000 over the weekend, £32.5 million overall.
£32.5 million for a Downton Abbey spin-off movie. Jesus Christ, that's what's wrong with people these days. Look, I'm joking, I'm jesting. By all accounts, fantastic TV show. Again, period piece. A lot of people love it. They're rabid for it, even over in the States. I watched John Campea speak about it. I think he went opening night with his wife and a group of people, and he says the theatre was whooping and cheering like they would at an Avengers Endgame screening at first night. So there was that core demographic of fans who are just rabid for this, and they've went out and watched it, and they've propelled it right up. $172.6 million worldwide. Fantastic performance. Hats off to it again. I'll just keep saying that.
Coming in at number 10 this week, John, it's Hustlers, and it's 6th week now. It's grossed £200,000 over the weekend, £9.4 million overall.
Yes, and it's grossed 126.6, just under $126.6 million worldwide. Spoke about it endlessly, Stephen. I've not got much more to say. I haven't went and seen it. It is supposed to be good, but it's not my cup of tea, so I haven't given over my hard-earned cash to go and give it a watch. And I'm going to end the box office on that note, unless you have something else to say.
Nope.
And indeed, MBE movie news for Monday. What did you guys make of the topics we spoke about today? If you have anything to say about them, you can comment below and let us know what your thoughts were in the comment section down below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. And me and Stephen will be back for another episode of MBE Heroes.